All right, then. I'm going to do it to myself, and I'm going to do it to all of you as well. God, I can sense already how awful this is going to be. It's it's gonna fucking suck, isn't it? It's gonna be so stupid and so needless. It's like I said, if you have any doubt in your mind right now that FaZe are pretty much already surrendering to the prospect of losing Tfue, but they're trying to make it as difficult for him on the way out the door by putting a clear divide between Tfue fans and FaZe fans and making them choose. But also in addition, they just want to come out of it looking as good as possible, despite all of the things that we've seen. It's like you can't come out and be like, oh yeah, the contract's trash and we know it, but we tried to fix it, so he's just greedy or whatever. When it's like, in the first instance, you did give him that trash contract, didn't you? So let's do it anyway. Fuck it. I'm going in. I will do the usual pauses for
no one at
reactions.
FaZe Clan ever wanted to make. This is a video that absolutely no one at FaZe Clan ever wanted to make because it's going to shed some negative light.
I mean, immediately, this is a video that no one at FaZe Clan ever wanted to make, but we're just making it anyway. I mean, brilliant, good start, right? Like, we're off to a start that makes total sense. It's in keeping with the FaZe organization. Well, is that kind of low, is it? Do they have it on? Do they have it on YouTube? You want me to watch it on YouTube instead? Okay.
Please, some of this.
This is a video that absolutely no. This is a video that absolutely no one ever wanted to make because it's going to shed some negative light on a guy that we care a lot about, but he's forced this upon us. And
wow. Oh, God, I can't even believe they framed it that way. I can't even believe they framed it that way. What are you thinking here? What are you thinking? We're releasing this video because him trying to get out of a contract, which may not be legally enforceable, we're going to just smear him. And we're going to openly say in the first 8 seconds of the video, we've been forced to smear this guy we supposedly love. I mean, I hope everybody can see the massively contradictory things that are going on here. So on the one instance, Banks is like, hey, meet me, bro. Let's meet up, man. We can fix this, bro. I still love you, bro. Like, we put this behind us. Meanwhile, we're also going to release a video that we admittedly say in the first 10 seconds is to smear you because you forced us to do it.
This isn't the way we would like to publicly conduct our business. If people want these things to be public, then they will. So what we're going to show you right now on the screen is multiple different versions of contracts that since September of 2018, we have sent directly to Turner or Tfue in hopes to renegotiate his contract.
Irrelevant. He doesn't want to sign a new contract. He wants to get out of the old contract and get away from you guys. The question is, does he have a basis to do that? We know you've tried to sign contracts with him. What, showing me some fucking redacted emails doesn't make a blind bit of fucking difference to the matter at hand. What a pathetic, way to start this out.
The original contract he signed with us when we brought him into FaZe Clan in April of 2018 was done under a legal team with some slightly different management in the company. When we brought in new management, it became very evidently clear before any concerns were raised on Tfue's side that we didn't like this contract. And we knew how valuable a healthy relationship with Turner would be to us, so we immediately started making strides to come up with a new version to present to Tfue. Unfortunately, that relationship in terms of communication around renegotiation didn't go that well. So
what does that mean? What does that mean? Communication didn't go that well. What does that mean? Who failed to communicate? The fact that you're phrasing it in such a way to leave it linguistically neutral suggests to me the fuck up was on your side. And when there's a legal complaint out there that says we wrote to you in September of 2018 about like non-payment and other issues, seems to me that the communication breakdown was very much on your side. Again, why I would then put this out in a video when this is all going to be gathered for discovery if it goes to court. You will, if you're deposed, the question you will be asked is, what did you mean by that? Why is this statement even here? Why is this video even happening?
Versions presented to him because it wasn't very clear what his true motive was, right? We didn't know if he wanted more monthly salary. We sent him a deal that was going to pay him 7 figures a year. We sent him a deal that included absolutely no splits at all. We had no legal right to take anything from him under every single term in this contract. Anything he made under any situation, any format, any media, it was all his. We were going to take 0%.
But he didn't sign it.
Miscommunication in terms of community understanding about in-game items and what that might mean and what that applied to. Let us be very on the record right now. That has nothing to do with supporter creator codes. In fact, we as a company have never even taken on our own because we prefer to promote the codes of the creators and professionals that we have. So anybody who thinks that has anything to do with dipping into the pockets of supporter creator codes is sorely wrong. I mean, we were so proud of everything that we had accomplished together with him in the past year. His first beginnings.
I mean, I love the way you just breeze past that, but doesn't the contract say you're entitled to do that? Like, didn't we just look at a contract earlier that actually says you are entitled to do that? And you're telling me it's got nothing to do with that? I mean, like, am I losing my fucking mind? Like, I will read the blast right up again. It says here, the Tfue's main issue with the contract lies in the way his money is split up. In-game sticker creator code income is 50% to gamer and 50% to company. And when we went down to looking at in-game sticker merchandise, the percentages from the contract, it said 50%, 50%. So, again, I don't know. Maybe you guys aren't all on the fucking same page in your company, but That is beyond silly to say that you've never done that, and then like we'll just muddle through and gloss over it by going immediately, like without even taking a breath, segueing into saying, "Oh, but we're so immensely proud of everything he's achieved." Like, guys, like you are tying yourselves in fucking nuts with this bullshit.
Were some of the greatest products on the internet that we've ever created.
You know why, by the way? You know why this video is even in here? This is how fucking cynical and pathetic FaZe Clan are. Because remember how the stuff he said he's going to take out now about how he hurt himself and injured his arm because you made me do silly stuff for videos? What the reason they've included this is to show how reckless he is and how he used to throw himself around and put himself in harm's way without anybody asking to do it. And we're just going to show the video footage and we're not going to explicitly explain that to you, but that's exactly why we're doing it. And they think you're so fucking stupid, and they think I'm so fucking stupid that we can't see exactly why they've fucking done that. Like, what do you, like, I mean, maybe the average fucking FaZe fan is that stupid, but surely anybody with an above average IQ can see the exact cynical reason why you are currently talking over Tfue doing that.
Some of the greatest
pathetic
on the internet
pathetic
we've ever created as a company. We've been building 8 years towards having a relationship with a talent as gifted as Tfue. We recognized everything he had done for us. None of this was lost. We are all very aware of the impact that having Tfue in FaZe Clan brought us as a brand. It gets tough for us to be able to create a healthy relationship with the fans of FaZe Clan because, again, that's truly what we care about here, is protecting the relationship with our fans. Because over the course of the last year, they've also built a relationship with Tfue too.
Okay, not really sure where to even go with this. It's like as I told you very early on, the justification for all of the fucking, pathetic behavior we've seen out of FaZe since this incident broke has been all about their public perception and trying to skew things, which has little basis in reality, to basically look better for the fans and to make Tfue out to be some unreasonable, greedy, ungrateful person. By the way, they definitely need to be careful about the way way they're framing this as well. But this could make them liable for some separate stuff down the road. But to do this in such a like transparent fashion and then say we're doing this because we care about the fans and Tfue is becoming harmful to our fans because he's trying to leave the organization is just so malevolent a stance. Again, I fucking hate these owners that can't just keep it business. I fucking hate it. A fans are the most important thing to us, man. So if anyone leaves and it hurts the fans, we gotta, you know, reevaluate how we feel about that player and all this. Like, what the stuff you're encouraging, you know, when we have a fucking community that's like swatting people, like already, like we saw Tfue's brother's Twitter get hacked today as well, and who knows what other stuff could come as a result of that security breach. This is happening because neither party is behaving like adults, and FaZe is behaving like the biggest kids, and the shit you're encouraging and the shit you're opening Tfue up to is potentially fucking dangerous when you frame it this way. It's pathetic. He hasn't betrayed a fucking gang, a brotherhood, a fraternity. You know, he signed a contract in a business. Him and his lawyers don't think it's legally binding, and he would like to get out of it. This is the type of thing that happens in business every day. You know, if my boss was putting out a video like saying Richard Lewis is a piece of shit for wanting to get out of this contract because he doesn't believe it's fair, like, and was putting that up on YouTube, like, just think about the world we fucking live in gaming and esports. Oh.
When it became clear to us that as we offered him more money, more, you know, fair splits, no splits, it got to a point where we'd sent him versions that almost included all of these things. And
I mean, this is the crazy thing as well, like, to immediately go to dishing DM dirt. How like pathetic is this, you know, to be doing it? But then think about what you're saying. Think about what you're saying. If there can be a legal argument made that the contract is unfair, this is evidence that you know that. You're saying no one is okay with your situation. It's fucked. We need to take over this space, and that's what we want to do. Everyone wants you to win. If there is shit fucked up, let me know. Let's work on it right away. Right? But, like, it's like, I don't think you realize it doesn't make Tfue look bad.
Not only was he not agreeing to...
I mean, again... You know, by this point, understand April 25th. Understand by this point, there has already been a lawyer now. Why are you even fucking DMing me about contracts? Like, I brought a lawyer in. Like, it's very clear what my intentions are. I don't want to re-sign. It doesn't matter what you dangle. I want out. Why the fuck are you DMing me all this shit about how you want to, you know, oh man, I can help you. It's our time and all this like faux positive nonsense trying to get me to sign because you recognize I'm more valuable to you now than you are to me. I don't give a fuck. Fuck this. Talk to my lawyer. This honestly doesn't make Tfue look bad. It makes you look like fucking amateurs.
To it, he wasn't even responding at a certain point. When it became clear to us that his pure intention was really just to leave, that's very difficult. I've seen a lot of people online say, oh, why didn't you just let him out? We owe our fans much more of a debt than that.
What? You're gonna go to the wall and fight over a contract that could potentially just be voided anyway, might not be legally binding, and has clauses in it that aren't legally enforceable because you think you owe it to the fans. What is that? What does that even mean? What is that logic? Like, I can't even see that. Okay, this has a potential to harm FaZe's business and harm your brand, and it is right now, whether you know it or not, because most industry people realize you're a joke, and this is before we even get into all the other lawsuits you're embroiled in, which I haven't even started breaking down those yet, which I will, right? And people are gonna know about all, and people have a history of all the scummy shit you done. Surely, if you care about the fans, your two priorities should be this. One, stay in business by not getting entangled in, by comparison, relatively frivolous legal proceedings. And two, clean your fucking brand the fuck up. Get rid of pieces of shit that, you know, like Rice Gum and other fucking predatory streamers. Don't say you're doing it for the fucking fans. That's like what that's so outrageous. You're doing it for this. Fuck you.
Because our fans have invested their time and their effort and their care and their love into the relationship that we created with Tfue too.
Pathetic.
And for us to just drop him solely because he wanted out, I don't think anybody can rationally claim that that would have sat well with our fan base or frankly the culture of gaming and relationships in general if we were to just drop him. So we made every effort to renegotiate. So when people say online, this wasn't a blindside, you guys were aware of this, we were certainly aware we were renegotiating. We were definitely not aware that he planned to sue us. So from here, it's important to understand why people in FaZe Clan are so emotional about this, because we were so emotionally invested in what we created with him, and we never thought it would come to this. So for him to come out now publicly today, realize his true motives were to create his own organization.
Right, and so this is another interesting thing. I don't know enough about how this information got leaked, but I do think it's interesting, isn't it, that while we're embroiled in a legal dispute with one guy, his brother's Twitter got hacked. So I don't know if his brother leaked this prior to the hack. I don't know. I don't know the exact chronology. But this coming out on the around about the same time does make me have some questions about it, because even if this came out before the hack, the person who was doing the hack could have gained access and like just waited before they start typing all that egregious shit. So I you know, but Keemstar leaked it. Well, I mean, this is why Keemstar, you can't think of him as a journalist in that sense, because first of all, it's very clear which side of the argument Keemstar's on as a journalist, and that's fine. I think it's very clear what side of the argument on. I say as much. But if I obtained information from a fucking source to try and explain it, I then wouldn't leak that information publicly to serve the interests of one party, and fucking in an ongoing dispute and be like, oh, look what I found out, you know, like, I mean, kind of seems a bit lame, but it's like I said on the original stream, that, you know, clearly Tfue wants to go independent, because that's where the money's at, right? So anyway, it says here, Turner wants to create his own org, work with the brands he wants, and overall be free to change the face of gaming forever. FaZe refused to allow him to do this. Turner creating his own org is in his best interest. Emotions and friendship aside, the corporate side of FaZe wouldn't let that happen. You see, and when you know this, it takes on a much more sinister complexion, doesn't it? Because I'm sure if Tfue created his own organization, well, that company is a direct rival to FaZe, right? It's not just about him going and playing for someone else. Which stopping him doing that could be argued to be bad enough. Now he's creating a brand, right, which would be directly potentially competing with FaZe for sponsors, and you're preventing it happening by fighting and holding on, and trying to argue that this contract isn't isn't void and blah 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 blah. So that makes it look really bad. That makes it look really, really bad.
And to directly compete with us, if anybody feels that it was in our best interest, both as a business and as a representative to the fans who care about us, to just simply wipe our hands and walk away and allow that to happen, then I'm sorry, but we can't ration with you. But we did try to ration with Tfue, and it didn't work, and that really sucks.
Yeah. Did I miss something? We can't ration with you. Does he mean rationalize? He must mean rationalize. If you ration with someone as a verb, you allocate a fixed amount of food. So he means rationalize, right? Like, I mean, it's a petty thing to pick on, but like, I don't want you to ration with me, dude. I like my dinners the size that they are, if it's all the same.
Yes, Seabass, I couldn't agree more, unfortunately. A point that I want
Oh, God. Everyone gets involved, eh?
to make is that when Tfue first signed with us, he was under a starter agreement. He wasn't the Tfue that everybody knows now.
We all know that.
And the
It's
other
irrelevant.
thing is, it wasn't the first org that he's been part of. So he's signed contracts before with other orgs, and he knows what it means to sign a contract.
Yeah, and that's fine. As I said, on the conscionability argument, he doesn't have a leg to stand on, saying he didn't know what he was doing. You know, again, maybe you can even try and make that argument if it's the first contract he signed. Nobody with any credibility is saying that, like, oh, he didn't know what he was doing, he was just a kid. Like, nobody's saying that.
So I just want to walk people through the timeline since I was largely negotiating with Tfue's camp while Banks was having some direct conversations with Tfue. So that started, looking back at my emails, it started in September 6th. As early as September 28th of last year, we sent the first revised version of a contract for Tfue. We didn't get a great response to it. We didn't get much of a response. And so what we
And again, why can't you be specific? Why will you not be specific? Why will you show me a heavily redacted email with one little cherry pick point in it and go, we didn't get a great response to it? Yeah, the contract was rejected, you mean? Because in their complaint, they're also saying they were having disputes over outstanding amounts of money. So does that mean that they just told you to go stick it up your ass, which they're entitled to do, by the way? They don't have to accept your revised contract offer. But then you said we didn't get much of a response. So you didn't get a great response, and you didn't get much of a response. And if they didn't respond at all, yeah, that might play in your favor. But you're not saying that, are you? And equally as well, we don't see any of the email exchanges. So instead, you just say, look, hey, we did try to make it go 80-20 in his favor. Well, we all know that. Banks said that. Tfue doesn't deny that. Nobody denies it. It's not about the contract you offered him. It's about the contract he's on.
Decided was in the middle of January, I flew down with Banks and Tfue's direct manager to go sit and have a face-to-face with him and his dad to see if we can make some progress. It wasn't a great day. We didn't get a lot done.
Again, what does that mean? It wasn't a great day. Did they reject what you offered? I mean, because they're entitled to do that. They're entitled to do that, and clearly they did. So why are you trying to say, it just wasn't a great day? Like we were so close and yet so far. You know, everything you've offered him, he's rejected time and time again. He just wants out of the contract.
But we were still plowed on and tried to make things work. We sent him a new agreement to his lawyer January 24th of this year. We sent another updated thought on April 3rd, then again on April 29th. And then the other day, as this developed, we decided we're going to send an amendment to the agreement that gets rid of this 80% clause that everybody's been concerned about, even though we have never collected any more than 20%.
And again, it doesn't matter what you've done. It's what you can do. It's what people who come after you can do. Right? Do you not understand how mentally fucked you have to be to not see the point, right? You're saying he was on a shit contract because it was done by a previous legal team, yes? Okay, right? And that you guys, this new wonderful team, would never have agreed to those contracts. And they just happen to go out, man, because of the timing of everybody changing all of their roles and everything. Well, do you not see how somebody could come after you and then use that contract that you guys totally wouldn't do, totally would never do? Can't you see how the new people might decide retroactively to do it? Like, that's the fucking point. That's the whole point. Fucking hell. That's why it's got nothing to do with what you've done. It's what you can do. It's what a contract allows you to do. I can't believe, like, this guy was saying he's a fucking district attorney.
From him or any other of our members. Yeah, I feel like the other thing, and because we were having these issues and because we wanted Turner to feel that we had his back, we made the decision to not collect any money under the old agreement. Nothing from Prize Pool, nothing from YouTube, nothing from anything except for a couple of brand deals that he accepted that we only took 20% of. And those deals...
And again, this isn't new information. Banks said all this. And again, it's as irrelevant today as it was on the day you said it. So why are you repeating this point?
Came from us to him. So it's really unfortunate that we're here at all. The relationship with Tfue was much more important than the money. We gave him so many different options that had little, or even some of them had no money going to FaZe Clan. And yet we still couldn't get a deal done. And we come to find that the reason why is he never planned on getting a deal done with us. He wanted to start a competing organization.
Oh, what a ridiculous thing to actually acknowledge. Oh Lord, why would you say that? Why would you say that? Like, let us just figure it out. We actually know that's why you're doing this, and now you've just explicitly said it. And one of the arguments his lawyer's making is that you're fucking limiting his competition in a potentially illegal fashion, and you've said it. Oh, get me out. Get me out. It can't be real. It can't be real that you would fucking say that. I can't do it.
Had no money going to FaZe Clan, and yet we still couldn't get a deal done. And we come to find that the reason why is he never planned on getting a deal done with us. He wanted to start a competing organization. And that's like the Lakers letting LeBron James create a competing NBA team.
Yeah. I don't know enough about the NBA, but I'm pretty sure that if LeBron wanted to leave the Lakers and create a new team, and the NBA had opened their books and were doing expansion teams, and he'd created it, I'm pretty sure like that happens. I don't think you get to fucking potentially hold somebody to a very legally dubious contract because of the fact that it was potentially made in an improper fashion, just because you don't want them to make a fucking business rival you. And I'm so glad that after all of the bullshit and all of the spin for 2 days, 3 days, or whatever the fuck it is from FaZe, we actually get to it. We actually get to why you're doing it. You don't even want to keep him, do you? You just don't want to have to go up against a team that could be potentially bigger than FaZe in an already crowded market. That's what this is all about, you cynical cunts.
They would never let it happen, and we should never let that happen. Our commitment to our fans is that FaZe Clan will continue to be thought leaders in the space, to be agents of positive change while the industry...
Right, guys, agents of positive change, FaZe. Are we talking about the same fucking FaZe, mate? Is that real? You consider yourself thought leaders and agents of positive change with your fucking clout gang and your rah and your fucking YouTube content with underage kids drinking on fucking stream, and you do nothing about it and you leave it there because fucking bling bling, you too could be in fucking FaZe gang, right? You were involved in fucking CSGO Wild, a fucking casino that preyed on fucking children. You, at best, you fucking advertised that. You did a Kickstarter to make a video game that never turned the fuck up. You don't pay your media partners, as proven by lawsuits that are fucking filed. You're the positive fucking thought leaders in the space. You're the positive ones, are you? Well, holy shit! Who are the rest? The Catholic fucking Church. Jesus fucking Christ, the slew of bullshit from this guy's mouth is beyond a fucking joke. It's beyond parody. It is beyond parody. When are you going to come out and apologize for all of that stuff? When are you going to apologize for Rice Gum in fucking Clout Gang fucking, endorsing provably fake mystery boxes with properties? We're giving away a property we don't even own. I must have missed the FaZe statement about that. I saw the video where Rice Gum barely struggled to fucking string a sentence together and then gave out some fucking already expired Amazon codes. Great job, thought leaders. Positivity in the space, great job. Why don't you just instead of fucking FaZe up, fucking clean up your fucking act. I can't believe the fucking nerve you have to fucking pretend that you are fucking thought leaders and fucking positive. You're not, man. You're fucking straight garbage. Absolute nonsense.
Industry develops. Things will change, things will evolve. We want to be at the forefront of that always. We are talent first, we are fan first, and we will continue to think that way as we help lead the industry in its change. FaZe the fuck up.
Is that real? Is that real? I'm supposed to believe this guy's like a fucking ex-district attorney and this is meant to be a video, which, by the way, having gone through it all, says absolutely nothing new and doesn't make Tfue look bad at all, and actually makes your motives for wanting to keep him bound to the contract incredibly transparent, and simultaneously incredibly sinister, while you also rewrite FaZe's fucking history from the ground up. And then you end it with FaZe the fuck up.
Continue to think that way as we help lead the industry in its change. FaZe the fuck up.
Are they taking the piss? Are they taking the piss? Is it a fucking... Oh, well, speaking of taking the piss, is it a fucking psyop? Like, am I... like you said, like, does Jeremy Beadle's corpse come out, right, with a fucking mic taped to his big hand and fucking tell me, Richard, like, this entire FaZe story was just a bait, man. You just got fucking debated. Like, because I just can't. I can't even understand, you know. And again, even before he drops the fucking FaZe the fuck up, right? Grow the fuck up. He said we're going to be talent first. Just not Tfue. Just not him. But every other talent. Honestly, Scouts Honor with talent first. Just not Tfue. Tfue was talent, right? Was Tfue not talent? Does he not count? No. You're not Tfue first, right? You're not everyone who signed one of them terrible starter contracts first. But all the other talent, the loyal talent, the talent that poses no threat to your bottom line if they go and create a business, because there's only really Tfue that could go and do it. And that is why you are refusing to let him out of this fucking contract, and you're going to fucking embarrass yourselves. I'm telling you. Oh, Lord. Let's fast forward to the... Please, like, wake me up. I'm going to go into cryogenic, right? I'm just going to go into stasis. Wake me up on the day the California Labor Commission not only rules that it's in their jurisdiction, but rules the contract's void because you act as a talent agency without the proper licensure. Please, like, skip me to that. Like, let's just get there. Because this is fucking outrageous. This is so outrageous. I haven't even seen an org behave like this. This is so embarrassing for an org of FaZe's size to literally have like CEOs, COOs, like fucking, you know, supposedly like experienced business people coming out and basically doing like the equivalent of a fucking diss track about a player who just wants to leave your org because you're trying to win some PR battle. Like, it's mental. It is so mental. You want me to read a donation? I mean, now people are saying there's like a fucking interview with this guy on Keemstar's thing. I don't even know if I can handle it. I don't know if I can handle a double dose of the trinks. Like, holy shit, like, get fucking trinked. I don't know if I can handle it, guys. Like, so is Ricegum streaming now? Is he streaming on Twitch? Oh, this can't be real.
Subscribe, and I just feel bad. And if you did subscribe, I am literally adding all my subscribers onto Fortnite on the Epic Friends list or whatever. But I really do need to catch up on donations because I feel bad. I'm going to do that. I'm calling that girl back, and then we're going to see how the stream goes. But
these are the positive leaders in the space, guys. These are the positive leaders in the space, dude. He's literally dropping a fucking dog shit clickbait stream called Girlfriend Streaming With Me. right? Like literally doing that. You know what I mean? And getting people to click on it. Good old Fabian. At least he's using Streamlabs. There is that, of course. Yeah, sure. Wasn't Rice Gum the guy who asked a rape victim if they enjoyed it? And FaZe rep this guy and say they're positive fucking... They're positive. They're all about positivity in the space. Like, fuck that guy forever. Like, what a mass piece of shit. I know it's against TOS, isn't it, if you say bad things about other Twitch streamers. But again, fuck that guy. The end. Like, how do you have this, like, cognitive fucking dissonance in your mind where you think, like, in between screaming, FaZe the fuck up, in between screaming that when you're a fucking CEO or whatever, you rep some of the most loathsome fucking streamers out there that have some of the most loathsome predatory fucking sponsors and make money in some of the most gross fucking ways and have said some of the most absolutely like outrageous shit. And then you call yourself like, we're all about positivity, man. That's what FaZe does. We're positive, we're thought leaders. Yeah, you really are. You're thought leaders because you're all alone when it comes to the thought process of just fucking repping absolute dog shit human beings. Yeah, nobody actually thought of that. And you know what? You've made it work. You've made it work. Congrats. For now. I need to set up another one of these actually, because hang on 1 second, guys. I definitely need to have as many of these as possible, I think, for the fucking purposes of streaming. See, it's so easy, even I can do this. There it is. Now we can just alternate. Fucking FaZe Clan, guys. FaZe Clan.
This is a video that
oh God, get it away. Just, you gotta FaZe the fuck up, homies. FaZe the fuck up. Right, let's wrap this up then. Let's do the fucking it's time to get fucking trinked. Get trinked in the A. Please. Am I really gonna have to fucking go to this and fucking watch this? No. What is up, Drummer Nation? Okay.
When are the lowest prices of the year?
You mean like low? During the best.
This is actually live. This is a reenactment of that time. FaZe Banks went to Best Buy, and he paid $4,000 out of his own pocket and not FaZe's pocket to buy all these appliance top deals for street urchins. You know, he did it without. That'll clean your ears. Yeah, we know.
And there's it started trending. #1 in the United States. Nothing to hide and everything on why Tfue was doing this. It wasn't just about the contract, because you got to remember, yeah, it's a bad contract with FaZe, but FaZe offered to fix this. I mean, they offered him $1 million a year, and they would take none of his money, and he refused to sign. So why does he want to leave FaZe so bad? Well, another Fortnite pro player reached out to me and told me that Tfue wants to create his own org. So I reached out to Tfue's brother, Jack, and this is what he had to say. Tfue wants to create his own org.
Yeah,
Fortnite esports, you're not...
Other in, whether it's the NBA or the NFL or that Tfue signed in April.
I can't believe this guy has literally done a public interview where he says we are stopping him creating a competing business by any means necessary. Like I again, not a lawyer. I cannot believe that is good. I cannot believe that is a smart thing to do. I legitimately cannot believe that is a smart thing to do. It's so insane.
It's a kind of, I would call it a...
And again, yeah, look at him, man. He looks older than me, dog. He's in better shape, of course. But I mean, everyone is. But he looks older than me, and he's dropping FaZe the fuck up, dude. Like, holy shit. And you're right. Yeah, I am waiting for Ernie to chip in. G-Bird.
Starter contract. It's a contract that, before somebody's a big talent, they've got to start somewhere.
Right.
It's the same thing in whether it's the NBA or the NFL or the music business or the movie business, contracts in the beginning are small. And then if somebody develops into big talent, they're renegotiated.
Are these contracts the same contracts that you give new people into FaZe?
So, the
asking the hard-hitting questions. These are starter contracts, when we sign starting talent, you have to start small. It's like in the music business, that's just how it works. Also, as well, by the way, understand that every time you compare FaZe to a fucking talent agency or your contracts to entertainment contracts, that's actually bad for you. Stop it. Okay. But then Keem comes in with a hard-hitting question and goes, so you mean these starting contracts, these are what you give to new people? Well, yeah, they're starting contracts, yeah. By definition. Okay. Hard. You can see that he's grilling this FaZe CEO right now. Like,
the contracts that were created, the one that he's under right now was part of an old regime, right? So my partner Greg and I,
they also keep talking about this old regime, yet they don't say when the old regime left. They don't say who the old regime was. Like, can I just make up, all that you remember that loader thing? I was actually being controlled by, this old regime, Russians they were, and, that was, and I had to do it. But they're gone now, and obviously, therefore, I'm completely absolved of anything that Richard Lewis did all that time ago.
Over the business operation of FaZe since September. Before that, there was somebody else running the show and another legal team, and they put forward those contracts, and those contracts have changed. And we looked at that. We decided there were some things that needed amending going forward, and so really all of our newer guys are under different agreements. I mean, there are some people that are still under that agreement that.
That's the best part as well. To have to come out and say, oh, those contracts, we know they're shit. They were by an old regime. Did you change them for everyone? Nah, just Tfue, because the rest of those losers can go fuck themselves. They're not worth it. Well, then they're not as big as Tfue. Like, what is that? What is that? If the old regime had done something so egregiously bad, why are you as the new regime not changing it and rectifying it universally for everybody? No, just for Tfue.
That Tfue's in, but as he grew, we knew it was important to amend the agreement, right?
Right.
So
we haven't heard really from Tfue's side that he was offered a better agreement or offered a way out of his current agreement, but he was, right? That's what Banks keeps saying.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, that's one of the upsetting parts is how many times we've tried to come
Irrelevant.
up with a revised agreement.
But it's
So
irrelevant.
The earliest emails that I have that are back
It's
and
irrelevant. I
forth
don't want
about
any
new
agreement.
terms
Doesn't matter how
go
good
back
it is.
as
I don't want
early as
any.
September 6th.
The thing is, right, like, it would be worse if he turned around when you offered him $1 million and he went, yeah, all right then, fuck it, I'll stay in FaZe. Like, surely that would have been way worse, because then it would have just been a massive cynical cash move. He just wants the fuck out.
So, when I came in as CEO and my, me and my partner Greg, like, one of the first things that we did was go to remedy this, because Tfue was showing himself to be a tremendous talent, and Banks and the other founders made it a really important point to us. Hey, we should spring into action and we should get him a better deal because it's fair. And that's exactly what we did as early as September 6th.
Yeah, that was after you were contacted by his lawyer. So kind of feels a bit empty when you try and make it like sound like you were being proactive. Like, yeah, we've got some problems with this contract and some outstanding money. It was at that point we decided to spring into action and give this guy whatever he wanted. Like, oh, you fucking heroes.
And what was the reason? I mean, if you're offering all these better deals, how come he hasn't accepted them?
Well, look, I have a point of view with that now. I almost want to tell you the lengths that we've gone to try and get a new agreement. I mean, we went down there on January 16th. I flew down to Florida with Banks and a couple of our managers to go have a face-to-face with Turner and his dad to see if we can turn this into a productive conversation. I'll say that trip was not very productive. Some of the conversations that I had with his dad were definitely concerning. He talked about things like, he told me stories about, and maybe this is because I was, I came from the music business and traditional entertainment, that he told me about his kind of very brief brush with the entertainment business, whatever, it's 20 some odd years ago. But to be honest, things like that are worrisome because I've seen it before when parents are trying to live their glory through their.
What are you saying this for? What are you blaming the dad for? Why are you blaming the dad? Why is that even part of the discourse now? I know what'll win Tfue over. We'll diss his old man to millions of viewers. Like, and again, what a fucking mad thing to imply here, that Tfue's not his own person, like doesn't have his own thoughts, that actually he probably would have agreed if it wasn't for his dad in his ear and all this. It's so textbook. Like, I don't know if how much time Lee fucking spent in the music industry, but you always see that fucking, the biopics, right, where it's like the upcoming artist and they've always got some outrageous managers going, now listen, you ain't gonna get no better deal than this, you better to sign that deal, I made you, that's how it is, and you ain't gonna get no better deal till you start selling them records, and then you start selling them records, and then the fucking music manager comes back in and he goes, baby, I always knew you were gonna make it, who had faith in you? Well, it surely was me, wasn't it? So now you gotta sign this new deal, and then you go, no, actually, I'm gonna go to fucking, Geffen, actually, or whatever. Nope, you can't do that. Can't do that. Is it your daddy doing it? Is it your dad's in your ear? Why wouldn't you trust me? A person who just lowballed you when you weren't big, and now you're big, wants to cash in. Like, fucking, it's so ridiculous. Like, it is just like, it's just like a fucking parody. It is just like a fucking parody.
Through their children, and certainly that was something that I began to become concerned with. We gave them a new offer on January 24th. January 24th, sent that to Tfue's lawyer. Didn't get much response. I think we got a response back in March. We tried to go back April 3rd with a new agreement, but it was clear, and I think what's clear now, and part of it is you've heard about this, is he was actually never interested in creating a new deal. What he was interested in,
he doesn't have to be
creating a competing org.
Yes,
and
good.
That's impossible. We're
good
never
for him.
gonna get there,
What? It's impossible for him to do that. What are you saying? What are you saying? What do you mean it's impossible? It's impossible for him? How? How's it impossible exactly? Let's say there's a pretty solid argument, which multiple lawyers agree with, by the way, that because of the Talent Agency Act, the contract could be realistically annulled. That's even before we get into arguing whether or not you breached it materially if you didn't pay him on time. Then, on top of that, there can also be just a ruling, a determination that a contract is so egregiously one-sided that probably it shouldn't exist. That's super unlikely in this instance, but it's completely, it's within the realms of possibility. And yet, so if he gets out of this contract, if the contract is annulled, if it's voided, then he just goes and makes his org. Why is it impossible? Why are you even saying it's impossible for him to make a competing business? Why are you saying publicly, loudly as you can, we are literally stifling his ability to compete in the marketplace? Why would you ever fucking say that? When his lawyer has explicitly said they want to also explore anti-competition options. It's like I can't believe it. Like, if something happens, guys, when you get millions, something happens. In a way, I hope it never happens to me, because something happens, you start to believe your own bullshit to such a fucking lunatic degree that you honestly believe you're untouchable. You just believe that, like, you know, we can do what we want. We can stop anyone else doing what they want. Like, that wording, it's impossible. It certainly isn't. It certainly isn't. Because also, by the way, if he just decides out of the fucking blue to, like, try and fucking ride this out and just keep playing for FaZe like some fucking black sheep of the family, like, eventually he goes, right? Like, you do understand eventually he gets to leave.
Right. The Lakers don't let LeBron go.
Here's that great example again.
It's just not what you do. And
well, I mean, it's not in your best interest, especially after, you know, aiding and helping and developing this new star. It just, yeah.
Well, that's it. And it feels like, you know, especially relating to Banks, is that they sucked Banks dry of every strategy, every tool in the trade, everything that he could possibly do, not with just the interest of building Tfue, because they did. They put those into action, and Banks worked with him day in, day out.
Right. Did this guy miss the part, right, of the equation, right? Because you know, again, maybe I'm being silly. I'm not a fucking CEO, and I don't say "face the fuck up," you know, when I'm fucking 45 or whatever, right? But did I miss the fucking part where by teaching Tfue all of those things, it directly benefits your business because you had a contract in place that made you the majority beneficiaries? Like, is that like too fucking wild a concept for anybody to grab over at FaZe? Like, if you teach somebody how to be successful and they successfully are repping you, you benefit, right? Like, that's like saying, if I took a fucking, like, job working as, I don't know, tech support, right? And I'm working for a company like Microsoft and I'm doing their tech support, and I get there, I'm fucking, oh, okay, you ready to do your job, are you, Richard? Yeah, I'd love to do it. What do I do? Oh, you answer calls and you tell them how to fix the computer. Oh, okay, cool. Are you going to teach me any of that? Like, any common problem? Nah, you better learn it all by yourself. Can't risk giving you any trade secrets. So I'm just going to, what, sit there like a fucking mug and fucking just say things that come out of my head because you can't risk teaching me how to do my job in case I leave and go to another company? That's the fucking argument you're making.
Build him and build his career, but part of that was taking all of the way we do business, and obviously we're very, very good at it, and with the idea of creating a competitor. And that's not what freedom is. I mean, we gave him every other freedom. We gave him freedom to do other brand deals. We basically said, tell us what you want. Just tell us. As long as it's reasonable, we're there. We were putting money second to the relationship. Literally, we were prepared to just put the concept.
No, that is a lie. That is a provable lie, because you've just admitted that the reason you don't want him to go is because he'll make a competing business that you're afraid will be more successful. So you didn't put money second. You put it fucking first, you lying cunt. Jesus Christ, how can you be this? Like, do you believe the turds that are tumbling out of your mouth? This is mental. This is like, it's like I've had a fucking lobotomy. I can't believe what I'm hearing. I cannot believe what I'm hearing.
Concept of whether we make money from Tfue on the side, because that's how much we.
When are the lowest prices of the year?
You mean like low? During the Best Buy Memorial?
It's mad. It's mad. You did a cynical corporate calculation where you weighed up, if we pay Tfue $1 million, right? Is that better for us than having him out there with a rival org? And you all agreed, yes, it is. And that's why you offered him it. So you did it for money first. Money first. Inarguably, money first was your motivation. You don't give a fuck about this kid. You certainly give a fuck about Tfue Gaming coming and stealing your G Fuel sponsorship and everything else. Which, by the way, I would be worried too. You're embroiled in lawsuits. You fucking jeopardize your sponsors every day when you let fucking guys like Ricegum just give him a fucking camera 24/7 with no fucking oversight whatsoever from an adult. Like, yeah, sure. Yeah, what could possibly go wrong? So obviously you don't want fucking Tfue, this guy who's as big bigger than Ninja right now, starting his own org. Fuck me! How can you pretend that it's not about money first?
Wow. Where do you see this going?
I mean, look.
By the way, if I was interviewing this guy, which I nearly did, true story, he was a guest on the, he was meant to be a guest for the Deserto talk show, and then inexplicably, the day we were meant to do it, he just dodged me. He just swerved and said he couldn't make it and he'd reschedule, and he never did. And I know exactly fucking why, because you don't want to be interviewed, right, by me, right? You definitely don't, because everything I'm saying on this fucking stream right now, I'll be saying it to your face, motherfucker, and you better give me some good answers, because I actually give a fuck about the truth. I don't give a fuck about clicks, right? So don't you dare tell people it's not about money. Don't you fucking dare. Don't insult people's intelligence when it is literally a business assessment. Tfue with a rival org takes more out of our pockets than giving Tfue $1 million a year. Do not pretend that isn't the conversation.
I'll be honest that over the last few days, I've spent a lot of time speaking to his lawyer, and I thought that we were on a really good path for reconciliation. It's the only thing that we want. I think that, we've tried to be very measured in our response, right? Despite the fact that Hollywood Reporter article, I mean, it was awful. I mean, they talked about things that were really just, it seemed patently unfair and dirty.
I personally know that some of that stuff is just untrue,
Really good path for reconciliation. It's the only thing that we want. I think that, we've tried to be very measured in our response, right? Despite the fact that Hollywood Reporter article, I mean, it was awful. I mean, they talked about things that were really just, it seemed patently unfair and.
Right. Yeah, but notice again, you're not saying it was untrue. You said it was patently unfair. Don't worry. Keem will say that it isn't true for you. I don't know.
I personally know that some of that stuff is just untrue.
So the theory here is, of course, then that a fully accredited lawyer who specializes in this field decided to go to a respected publication, and having seen the contract, having been involved in all of the emails going back to September, decided to lie in his statement to a publication and lie in the complaint he filed with a fucking judge. Brilliant, yeah. I mean, lawyers do that all the time, for sure. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense.
Even Turner in his video response last night said it's untrue. So even, I don't know what's going on there.
Didn't say that.
When they say something's there, a lot of the things that they said there had nothing to do with Turner and his contract. They were things to hurt FaZe Clan.
I mean, that's what Banks keeps alluding to on Twitter, that these are tactical.
He didn't say it was untrue at all. What a mischaracterization of what Tfue has said. Tfue, in the only statement he has made since the complaint dropped, has said he will just drop the things that we all know he could certainly use against you. And he's done you a massive favor in doing it. That's the part you're not talking about. Right? How he's like removed the bit about him incurring injury and the underage drinking and the underage gambling. Shit that could really bring down stuff on your head. I notice no one's talking about the 13-year-old anymore, right? I notice no one's talking about that. No one's rushing to fucking get you removed from fucking Twitch for violating TOS and lying to them and, you know, creating a fucking partnered streamer who, you know, might not be old enough. I notice all of that's gone away. And yet you're still saying this guy is just trying to hurt the fucking org. He's done you a massive solid by taking all of that off the table. You fucking bellend.
Moves to hurt FaZe, which is so wild to me because it seems like, you know, FaZe has done nothing but try to help Tfue. And I know some people in the audience are going to call me biased, but I'm sorry. That's the way I see it.
I mean, look, we're not perfect, right? This industry and what we do has never really been done before to this level.
Right.
So we're all learning while we're going. We're doing the best that we can. We show up every day. We want to be transparent. We want to be honest. We communicate with our talent.
What does that mean? Dr. Shipman fucking turned up every day and then he injected old people full of fucking poison and watched them die to get his jollies off. You know, and like, what the fuck does that mean? We turn up every day. Brilliant. Good. Yeah, excellent. I do too. Like, what the fuck? Like, what are you talking about? It's never been done before. We're trying our best, you know, we're learning as we go along. The fuck are you saying? None of this excuses any of it. Christ, it's so bad.
We're a talent-first organization, and again, it doesn't mean that we're perfect. We're constantly evolving and getting better as there's more and more attention, and frankly, more and more money as part of this. Money makes things crazy. Right? This was a much simpler industry before all of the attention was the attention, the money, and some of all these kind of corporate guys.
Yeah, I mean, you take the business.
What's it? Is he mental? Is Lee mental? You are one of the corporate guys. You're not endemic to this. You're a fucking former lawyer, former president of a fucking record label, and you've invested in esports. You are one of the corporate guys. You are the money. Like, I can't, man. This guy is so fucking divorced from reality. It's frightening. It is fucking frightening.
Business out of it. Banks and Tfue were close friends. I mean,
irrelevant.
Everyone knows that. But we're going to have to leave it there. Ladies and
Please.
gentlemen, CEO of FaZe Clan, Lee Trink. Guys, if you enjoyed this video...
I didn't, Keen. I didn't enjoy it, but it's not your fault that I didn't enjoy it. It's you know, it's that guy. Look, Keen, if anyone ever links you this and clips you this, you've been doing what you've been doing for a long, long time. I've always stood by and I always defended you, but you gotta not let fucking guests just come on and say outrageous shit like that. Because if you're not biased, like fuck me, like just ask a follow-up question, dude. Just ask one follow-up question to the nonsense. Fuck me. I don't think it's fair that Tfue explained he was in a bad contract with FaZe, but left out the part where FaZe was offering him a $1 million a year and taking none of his money. Seems wrong to manipulate. It's a manipulation. He's still in the contract. It doesn't change it. You can offer him $1 million contract. You can offer him a contract where you pay him fucking, you know, $10 million a day. If he doesn't sign it, he's still in the contract he's in. Please make it stop. Just make it go away. You think, you know, again, maybe you could just learn some lessons from all of this. Like if you're a FaZe executive, and maybe about the way you conduct yourself and the kind of philosophy that you have for your team and the direction you're heading in, and maybe you might have that like point of awakening where you realize that all of this, like, you know, grown ass men rolling around with like young kids and saying, "We're family, bro. We're gonna blow shit up. We're gonna own the world. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that," while you've got all sorts of fucking internal problems that you desperately need to fucking fix, and saying "face the fuck up, man," and manipulating people and fucking reneging on stuff, and then trying to use weird cartel / mob tactics to stop people creating companies that right. You maybe sit down and just analyze all of this, and maybe learn a lesson about it and be like, you know what, holy shit, yeah, we're not a gang, are we? We're not a family. We're not La Familia. We're a business. And that's what this is all about. And all this other, like, extraneous stuff is, like, really silly and quite pathetic, honestly, for grown men to be embroiled in. But then, you know, you go on over to Banks' Twitter and you think, he posted this after the video. "Please watch the entire FaZe Clan video. Couldn't have said it better myself." I mean, it's not difficult. It was just pretty much repeating everything you did say anyway. "I'm so fucking proud of my team. We truly are a family, and we'll get through this together. FaZe the fuck up." Guys, I think that's enough for me. If I die in my sleep, it's probably because of the fucking pressure of the brain tumor that having to listen to fucking FaZe make ridiculous PR statements all day has caused me. So, listen, you know, it's been fun, hasn't it? It's been a hell of a fucking ride. But, like, again, just remember, despite all of the sound and all of the fury, right, this simply comes down to whether or not the contract will be voided because of the way that these individuals were representing themselves and the tasks they were performing. And that's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. I mean, is Tfue being greedy? Is he a bad guy? Are the percentages fair? Are they not fair? None of it matters. No, it's just noise. It's just babble. The bottom line is, it looks like we're going to have to go to court, and the court's going to have to look at all this. And unless they've got some fucking ace up their sleeve, my gut feeling is they're going to say, yeah, you needed a license all along, and we could technically void this contract for you now. And even then, that's before we get into the material breach and all the other nonsense that we've talked about. The idea that FaZe are like holding a strong hand here is mind-blowing. I think if they were holding a stronger hand, they would have shut the fuck up and not said anything and not gone try and win the PR battle in the first place. Because they're literally admitting publicly to being anti-competitive. I can't get it. I don't see the play here. I don't see the benefit to FaZe. Whatever. If I was Tfue now after today, after that fucking video, I'd smoke him for everything. Get that skateboarding complaint back in there, son. You got my blessing. Get that fucking underage drinking, underage gambling in there. Get it. I'm on board with you now. Fuck them. Fuck them. They've treated you with absolutely fucking zero respect. Put it all on the fucking table. Fuck them. Let's get the California Labor Commission to look at all of these orgs in the state and fucking flamethrower a lot of them. Fuck it. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, the shit I've had to read, like, as a grown-ass man today. The shit I've had to listen to. It's just terrible. Anyway, it's been a blast. I'm going to go and hit the gym, get my lily whites pumping with some squats. Then I'm going to watch a movie, and then I'm going to go to bed. And when I wake up, I'm going to hope that this was all but a fucking dream. So, for one last time, I'll probably be back tomorrow. It's been a blast. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks to everyone who liked, subscribed, all of that other stuff that YouTubers like Wacky Rich say. And I'll probably pick up this story tomorrow. Yeah. Until then, guys, Take care. Much love.